That's quite a promise, isn't it? A guarantee of success. But I don't make this statement lightly. What I'm about to share with you has transformed not only my life, but the lives of thousands of people I've had the privilege to mentor over the years. Success isn't an accident. Success is a choice. And more importantly, success is a consequence. A consequence of the life you design and the habits you cultivate. That's what we're going to explore today. The philosophy of success. Let me start with a fundamental truth. Success leaves clues. The wonderful thing about living in this age is that we don't have to reinvent the wheel. We can study those who have achieved what we want to achieve, adopt their philosophies, implement their strategies, and ultimately produce similar results. You see, success isn't mysterious, it's methodical. It follows patterns and principles that have remained consistent throughout human history. These principles are neither Republican nor Democrat, neither liberal nor conservative. They're not even American. They're timeless, universal laws that govern human achievement. I've often said, don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. Don't wish for fewer problems, wish for more skills. Don't wish for less challenge, wish for more wisdom. This philosophy is at the heart of creating a life that guarantees success. It puts the responsibility squarely where it belongs, on your shoulders. It acknowledges that while we can't always control what happens to us, we absolutely can control how we respond. The seeds of success. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever planted a garden? If you have, you know there's a season for planting and a season for harvesting. You know you can't plant corn today and harvest it tomorrow. That's not how life works, is it? No, you must plant in spring and harvest in fall. You must give the seeds time to germinate, grow, and bear fruit. Success works the same way. The actions you take today are seeds you're planting for your future. Every book you read, every skill you develop, every relationship you nurture, every dollar you save or invest, these are all seeds. And just like a farmer must be patient and diligent, so must you. Most people overestimate what they can accomplish in a year and underestimate what they can achieve in a decade. That's because they don't understand the power of consistent daily actions, the power of sowing seeds. I want you to start thinking of your life in terms of seeds and harvests. Ask yourself, what seeds am I planting today? What harvest am I preparing for? Remember, you can't harvest what you haven't planted. If you want success, you must plant the seeds of success. The disciplines of success. Now, let's talk about disciplines. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. It's the bridge between dreams and reality. It's the bridge between potential and performance. There are several key disciplines that contribute to a life of success. Let me share them with you. The first is the discipline of personal development. Jim Rohn, that's me, has often said, work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Why? Because if you work hard on your job, you'll make a living. If you work hard on yourself, you can make a fortune. Personal development isn't a destination, it's a journey. It's a commitment to lifelong learning and growth. It's reading books, attending seminars, listening to audios, finding mentors. It's constantly expanding your knowledge, skills, and understanding. The second discipline is goal setting. Goals give your life direction. They turn your dreams into projects with deadlines. They transform vague wishes into specific targets. Without goals, you're like a ship without a rudder at the mercy of the winds and tides. But here's the key. Your goals must be written. There's something magical about putting your goals on paper. It makes them real. It makes them concrete. It makes them impossible to ignore or forget. The third discipline is time management. Time is our most precious resource. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, but some people accomplish so much more than others. Why? Because they've mastered the art of time management. Time management isn't about managing time, it's about managing yourself. It's about setting priorities, eliminating distractions, and focusing on high-value activities. It's about doing the right things at the right time. The fourth discipline is financial management. Money isn't everything, but it's right up there with oxygen. You need it to live, to thrive, to give, to make a difference. Financial management isn't about becoming wealthy for wealth's sake. It's about creating financial freedom so you can live on your own terms. It's about having the resources to pursue your passions, support your loved ones, and contribute to causes you care about. The fifth discipline is health management. Your health is your wealth. Without good health, success loses its luster. What good is a successful career if you're too sick to enjoy it? Health management isn't about looking like a fitness model. It's about having the energy, vitality, and well-being to live your best life. It's about making choices today that your future self will thank you for. The sixth discipline is relationship management. Success is sweetest when shared. Relationships give life meaning, depth, and richness. They provide support, encouragement, and accountability. Relationship management isn't about using people for your own gain. It's about creating win-win relationships based on mutual respect, trust, and value. It's about surrounding yourself with people who lift you up, challenge you, and bring out your best. These 6 disciplines, practiced consistently over time, create a foundation for success that's virtually guaranteed. They form what I call the slight edge small, seemingly insignificant actions that, when compounded over time, produce extraordinary results. The mindset of success. Now, let's talk about mindset. Your mindset is the lens through which you view the world. It shapes your perceptions, beliefs, and ultimately, your reality. Success begins in the mind. Before you can achieve success, you must believe you can achieve it. Before you can become successful, you must see yourself as successful. Before you can create a life of abundance, you must adopt an abundance mentality. There are 2 primary mindsets, the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. The fixed mindset believes that abilities, intelligence, and talents are static traits that cannot be significantly developed. The growth mindset believes that abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. Guess which mindset is more conducive to success? The growth mindset, of course. With a growth mindset, challenges become opportunities, become lessons, and effort becomes the path to mastery. But mindset isn't just about believing in your potential, it's also about how you interpret events and circumstances. Successful people have what psychologists call an internal locus of control. They believe they have significant influence over their lives, rather than being at the mercy of external forces. When something goes wrong, they ask, what could I have done differently? Rather than, why does this always happen to me? They take responsibility rather than making excuses. They focus on solutions rather than problems. This mindset shift is profound. It moves you from victim to victor, from passenger to driver, from spectator to participant. It puts you in control of your life, and by extension, your success. The art of setting goals. I want to delve deeper into the art of setting goals because it's so crucial to creating a life that guarantees success. Goals provide direction. They give your life purpose and meaning. They transform the invisible into the visible. They convert dreams into reality. They turn the abstract concept of success into concrete milestones that can be pursued and achieved. But not all goals are created equal. To be effective, goals must be smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Specific goals are precise. Instead of saying, I want to be successful, a specific goal might be, I want to build a business that generates $1 million in annual revenue. Measurable goals can be quantified. They answer the question, how will I know when I've achieved this? Measurable goals might include metrics like revenue, wait time, or percentage improvement. Achievable goals are realistic given your current resources and constraints. This doesn't mean they should be easy. Goals should stretch you, but they shouldn't be so far beyond your reach that they discourage rather than motivate. Relevant goals align with your values, priorities, and larger life objectives. They contribute to your overarching vision of success rather than distracting from it. Time-bound goals have deadlines. Without a time frame, goals can be perpetually postponed. A deadline creates urgency and accountability. But setting SMART goals is just the beginning. You also need a system for tracking and reviewing your goals. Regular review keeps your goals at the forefront of your mind and allows you to adjust your strategies as needed. I recommend reviewing your goals daily. Read them out loud. Visualize them as already accomplished. Feel the emotions of achievement. This daily practice programs your subconscious mind to seek opportunities and solutions that align with your goals. Also, break down your goals into smaller, manageable tasks. A goal without a plan is just a wish. A detailed plan transforms an intimidating goal into a series of doable steps. Remember, goals aren't set in stone. As you grow and evolve, your goals may change. That's not failure, that's evolution. Be willing to adjust your goals as you gain new insights and experiences. The ultimate purpose of goals isn't just to achieve external success. It's to become the person capable of achieving that success. In the pursuit of your goals, you develop discipline, resilience, focus, and countless other qualities that serve you in all areas of life. As the ancient Chinese proverb says, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Your goals are the destination, but the journey itself, the person you become along the way, is equally important. The power of association. Let's talk about a principle that's often overlooked but incredibly powerful, the law of association. This law states that you become like the people you associate with. You absorb their attitudes, adopt their habits, and eventually produce similar results. Jim Rohn, that's me, is known for saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Think about that. Your income, your health, your mindset, your success, all are influenced by the people closest to you. This isn't mystical, it's practical. When you spend time with positive, ambitious, successful people, their qualities rub off on you. You're exposed to new ideas, higher standards, and better opportunities. You're encouraged, challenged, and inspired to rise to their level. Conversely, when you associate with negative, complacent, unsuccessful people, you risk adopting their limitations. Their complaints become your complaints. Their excuses become your excuses. Their ceiling becomes your ceiling. So how do you apply the law of association? Start by evaluating your current associations. Ask yourself, who are the 5 people I spend the most time with? Are they where I want to be in terms of character, achievement, and mindset? Do they inspire me to grow or encourage me to settle? Based on this evaluation, make conscious decisions about your associations. This doesn't mean abandoning old friends or being disloyal. It means being intentional about who influences you most. If you can't immediately change your physical associations, change your mental associations. Read biographies of great men and women. Listen to interviews with successful entrepreneurs. Join masterminds or online communities of like-minded strivers. Fill your mind with the thoughts and ideas of those you admire. Remember, association isn't just about networking for opportunities, though that's valuable. It's about allowing the right influences to shape your thinking, behavior, and ultimately your results. It's about surrounding yourself with people who reflect the success you aspire to achieve. When you associate with excellence, excellence becomes your standard. When you associate with growth, growth becomes your norm. When you associate with success, success becomes your expectation. Choose your associations wisely, for they are quietly, constantly, inexorably shaping your destiny. The habitat of success. Now let's discuss what I call the habitat of success. Just as plants thrive in certain environments and wither in others, human success flourishes in some conditions and struggles in others. Your habitat includes your physical environment, your routine, your media consumption, and the overall atmosphere you create around yourself. All of these elements either support or undermine your quest for success. First, consider your physical environment. Is your workspace organized or chaotic? Is your home conducive to productivity and peace? Is your surroundings reflective of where you want to go or where you've been? I'm not suggesting you need luxury to be successful. Far from it. But your environment sends powerful signals to your subconscious mind. A tidy, purposeful, inspiring environment fosters tidy, purposeful, inspiring thoughts. Second, examine your routine. Successful people don't leave their days to chance. They design their days. They have morning rituals that center them, evening routines that rejuvenate them, and productive habits that propel them. Your routine should include time for the activities that matter most: personal development, strategic planning, relationship building, health maintenance, and of course, focused work on your most important goals. Third, audit your media consumption. In today's digital age, we're bombarded with information, news, social media, entertainment, advertisements. Most of it isn't designed to make you more successful. Most of it is designed to capture your attention and sell it to advertisers. Be selective about what you allow into your mind. Choose books over endless scrolling. Choose educational content over mindless entertainment. Choose inspiration over outrage. Your mind is too valuable a real estate to be occupied by whatever happens to be trending. Fourth, create an atmosphere of positivity and possibility. This is more subtle but equally important. It's about the conversations you engage in, the questions you regularly ask yourself, the expectations you set, and the energy you bring to situations. Do you habitually focus on problems or solutions? Do you dwell on what's wrong or what's possible? Do you speak in terms of limitations or opportunities? These choices create an atmosphere that either nurtures or hinders your success. The good news is that you have significant control over your habitat. Unlike wild animals that must adapt to whatever environment they find themselves in, you can design your habitat. You can create conditions that make success almost inevitable. Remember, environment is stronger than willpower. Even the most disciplined person will struggle in a habitat hostile to their goals. Conversely, even someone with average discipline can thrive in a habitat aligned with their aspirations. Design your habitat intentionally. Make it a place where success can take root, grow, and ultimately flourish. The economics of success. Let's talk about money. Some people are uncomfortable discussing money, as if there's something inherently wrong with wealth. But there isn't. Money is simply a tool that can be used for tremendous good or tremendous harm, depending on the character of its possessor. Financial success is an important component of overall success for several reasons. First, it provides freedom, freedom of choice, freedom of time, freedom to pursue your passions without constraint. Second, it enables impact, the ability to support causes you believe in, help those in need, and leave a lasting legacy. Third, it represents value creation. Your income generally reflects the value you've created for others. So how do you achieve financial success? Let me share some principles that have stood the test of time. The first principle is to spend less than you earn. This sounds obvious, but it's astonishing how many people violate this fundamental rule. Living below your means isn't about deprivation, it's about prioritization. It's about valuing financial freedom over temporary pleasures. It's about embracing the philosophy that less is often more. The second principle is to save and invest consistently. The miracle of compound interest has been called the eighth wonder of the world. When you save and invest regularly over a long period, your money begins to work for you instead of you working for your money. This is how ordinary people with ordinary incomes build extraordinary wealth. The third principle is to increase your earning capacity. There are limits to how much you can save, but there are no limits to how much you can earn. The key to increasing your income is to increase your value. Become more skilled, more knowledgeable, more productive, more innovative. The marketplace rewards value, and the more value you create, the more you'll be rewarded. The fourth principle is to develop multiple streams of income. Relying on a single source of income is risky in today's rapidly changing economy. Diversification provides security and opportunity. Consider building a portfolio of income streams: earned income from your job or business, passive income from investments, royalty income from intellectual property, rental income from real estate. The fifth principle is to practice generosity. This might seem counterintuitive in a discussion about building wealth, but there's a universal law at work here. What you give comes back to you multiplied. Generosity opens doors, builds relationships, creates goodwill, and brings fulfillment that far exceeds the temporary pleasure of selfish consumption. Remember, the goal isn't to die with the most toys. The goal is to create a life of financial freedom that allows you to pursue your purpose, share your gifts, and make a meaningful contribution. Money is a means to that end, not the end itself. As you apply these principles, you'll develop what I call financial intelligence, the ability to make wise decisions about earning, saving, investing, and giving. This intelligence, more than any specific financial strategy, is what ultimately leads to lasting wealth. The leadership dimension. Success isn't just about personal achievement, it's also about influence. The ability to lead, to inspire, guide, and empower others multiplies your impact and accelerates your success. Leadership isn't a position or a title, it's a mindset and a skill set. You can be a leader regardless of your role or authority. Leadership is about influence, and everyone has the potential to influence others. True leadership begins with self-leadership. Before you can lead others effectively, you must lead yourself. This means practicing what you preach, holding yourself to high standards, and being the kind of person others naturally want to follow. Leadership also requires vision. People follow those who know where they're going. Develop and articulate a compelling vision that inspires others to join your journey. Show them not just what could be, but why it matters and how they can contribute. Communication is another essential leadership skill. Your ideas, no matter how brilliant, have value only to the extent that you can communicate them effectively. Learn to express yourself clearly, persuasively, and appropriate for different audiences and contexts. Perhaps most importantly, leadership demands character. Integrity, courage, humility, resilience, these qualities form the foundation of sustainable leadership. People might follow talent, expertise, or charisma temporarily, but they commit long-term only to leaders they trust and respect. As you develop these leadership qualities, you'll find your circle of influence expanding. Your ideas will spread further, your projects will attract more support, and your opportunities will multiply. Leadership becomes a catalyst for all other dimensions of success. Remember, the measure of true leadership isn't how many followers you have, but how many leaders you develop. Focus not just on what you can achieve, but on who you can empower. That's how you create a legacy that outlasts your lifetime. The philosophy of giving back. As you achieve success, you'll discover an interesting paradox. The more you give, the more you receive. This isn't just a nice sentiment. It's a practical reality observed by successful people throughout history. Giving back isn't an obligation, it's an opportunity to make a difference, to find fulfillment, and yes, to enhance your own success. There are many ways to give back. You can donate money to causes you believe in. You can volunteer your time and skills. You can mentor those coming up behind you. You can create jobs and opportunities through entrepreneurship. You can share your knowledge and insights through teaching, writing, or speaking. The form your giving takes isn't as important as the spirit behind it. Give from a place of genuine care and commitment, not obligation or recognition seeking. Give strategically, focusing on areas where your unique contributions can have the greatest impact. Also, remember that giving back isn't something you do after you achieve success. It's something you integrate into your journey from the beginning. Even if your resources are limited, you can always find ways to contribute, perhaps through volunteering, supporting others in your network, or simply sharing valuable information. As you make giving a core component of your success philosophy, you'll experience benefits beyond the satisfaction of making a difference. You'll develop perspective, keeping the challenges of success in context. You'll build relationships that enrich your life personally and professionally. You'll discover purposes and passions that give meaning to your achievements. In the final analysis, success isn't just about what you accumulate, it's about what you contribute. The greatest successes are those that leave the world better than they found it. Overcoming obstacles to success. Now, let's address a reality that every successful person faces: obstacles. The path to success isn't a straight line. It's filled with challenges, setbacks, and sometimes outright failures. The difference between those who achieve lasting success and those who don't isn't the absence of obstacles, it's their response to them. Successful people develop resilience, the ability to bounce back from adversity and keep moving forward. One of the biggest obstacles is fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. Fear is natural, but it doesn't have to be paralyzing. Instead of trying to eliminate fear, learn to act despite it. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the determination that something else is more important than fear. Another common obstacle is failure. Most people misunderstand failure. They see it as the opposite of success, when in reality it's often a stepping stone to success. Every failure contains valuable lessons if you're willing to look for them. I've often said, don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. This philosophy applies perfectly to overcoming obstacles. Instead of hoping for fewer challenges, develop greater capacity to handle challenges. Instead of seeking paths with no resistance, build strength through resistance. Procrastination is another obstacle that derails many potential success stories. Procrastination isn't just about poor time management, it's often about emotional management. We delay tasks that make us uncomfortable, uncertain, or anxious. To overcome procrastination, break large tasks into smaller, more manageable steps. Focus on taking action rather than achieving perfection. Establish accountability systems that keep you on track. And most importantly, connect your daily actions to your larger purpose and vision. External criticism can also be an obstacle. As you pursue success, not everyone will support or understand your journey. Some will criticize, discourage, or even actively oppose you. Learn to distinguish between constructive feedback, which helps you grow, and destructive criticism, which simply tears you down. Accept the former with gratitude and let the latter slide off you. Finally, success itself can become an obstacle if you allow it to make you complacent. Some people achieve initial success, then plateau because they stop doing the very things that made them successful. Remember, success is not a destination, it's a continuous journey of growth and contribution. In facing these obstacles, develop what psychologists call a growth mindset, the belief that your abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. With a growth mindset, obstacles become opportunities, failures become lessons, and challenges become growth catalysts. As Winston Churchill famously said, success is not final, failure is not fatal, it is the courage to continue that counts. Keep moving forward, one step at a time, and you'll overcome any obstacle in your path. The legacy dimension. Let's conclude our exploration of success by considering what I call the legacy dimension. Legacy is about the impact that outlasts you, the difference you make that continues after you're gone. Legacy thinking shifts your perspective from the immediate to the ultimate, from the urgent to the important, from success in the moment to significance across time. It asks not just what am I achieving, but what am I contributing? What am I building? What am I passing on? A meaningful legacy isn't limited to the wealthy or famous. Everyone leaves a legacy of some kind. The question is whether your legacy will be intentional or accidental, positive or negative, substantial or superficial. Your legacy includes the obvious elements like financial assets and material possessions you leave to loved ones. But it encompasses much more: the values you instill, the examples you set, the people you mentor, the organizations you build, the innovations you create, the relationships you nurture, the causes you advance. To build a positive legacy, start by clarifying your values. What principles do you want to be remembered for? What truths do you want to pass on? What virtues do you want to exemplify? Your values become the foundation of your legacy. Next, identify the spheres where you want to make a lasting impact. These might include your family, your business or profession, your community, your industry, or particular causes you care about. Focus your legacy-building efforts on these areas rather than trying to leave a mark everywhere. Then be intentional about transferring your knowledge, wisdom, and resources to others. Mentor promising individuals. Document your insights. Create systems and structures that can operate without you. Give thoughtfully, supporting organizations and initiatives aligned with your values and vision. Finally, live with the end in mind. Regularly ask yourself, if my life ended today, what would my legacy be? What would people say about me? What impact would continue? These questions aren't morbid, they're clarifying. They help you align your daily choices with your ultimate objectives. Remember, legacy isn't about ego or immortality, it's about service and stewardship, recognizing that your talents, opportunities, resources, and relationships aren't ultimately about you. They're entrusted to you for purposes larger than yourself. When you embrace this perspective, success takes on new depth and meaning. It becomes not just about what you achieve, but about what you set in motion, ripples of influence that spread far beyond your immediate reach and continue long after your final day. Creating your success blueprint. We've covered a lot of ground in our exploration of success. Now let's bring it all together by creating what I call a success blueprint, a comprehensive plan for building a life that guarantees your success. Your success blueprint should include the following components. Vision, a clear, compelling picture of what success looks like for you across all life dimensions, personal, professional, financial, physical, spiritual. This vision should excite and inspire you. It should pull you forward even when motivation wanes. Write it in vivid detail, engaging all your senses. What do you see, hear, feel, and experience in this vision of success? Values, the core principles that will guide your journey. These aren't just nice ideas, they're decision-making filters. When faced with choices, your values help you determine which path aligns with who you are and who you want to become. Identify 5 to 7 core values that are non-negotiable for you. Goals, specific, measurable targets in each area of life. These goals should be challenging yet achievable with clear deadlines and metrics. They should be written, reviewed regularly, and revised as needed. Remember to include both outcome goals, what you want to achieve, and process goals, what you commit to doing. Strategies, the general approaches you'll use to achieve your goals. For instance, if financial independence is a goal, your strategies might include increasing your earning capacity, developing multiple income streams, and investing systematically. Strategies provide direction without dictating every detail. Systems, the specific routines, habits, and practices that implement your strategies and move you toward your goals. Systems transform intention to actions and actions into results. They might include morning routines, weekly planning sessions, monthly reviews, daily habits, and productivity methods. Measures, the indicators and feedback mechanisms that tell you whether you're making progress. What gets measured gets managed. Identify the key metrics for each area of success and track them consistently. Use this data not for judgment but for learning and adjustment. Support the people, resources, and environments that will help you succeed. This includes mentors, accountability partners, masterminds, coaches, courses, books, and communities. Success is rarely a solo journey. Build a support system that elevates and sustains you. Challenges, anticipated obstacles, and your plans for overcoming them. Foresight allows you to prepare rather than merely react. Consider what internal and external barriers might arise and develop specific strategies for addressing them. Legacy, the lasting impact you intend to create. Clarify not just what you want to achieve, but what you want to contribute. Consider how your success will benefit others and outlast your direct involvement. Personal growth plan, your strategy for developing the qualities, skills, and mindsets necessary for success. Success isn't just about what you do, it's about who you become. Identify the areas where you need to grow and create specific plans for that development. This blueprint isn't a one-time exercise. It's a living document that evolves as you grow and your circumstances change. Review it regularly, refine it thoughtfully, and most importantly, reference it daily to guide your choices and actions. Remember, the purpose of this blueprint isn't to restrict you, but to direct you to ensure that your life isn't left to chance, but is intentionally designed for the success you desire and deserve. The success decision. As we near the conclusion of our time together, I want to emphasize a fundamental truth. Success begins with a decision. Not a wish, not a hope, not a vague intention, a decision. This decision isn't made once and forgotten. It's made initially, then reinforced daily through choices and actions that align with your definition of success. It's a commitment not just to the outcome of success, but to the process of becoming successful. When you truly decide to succeed, when you eliminate all other possibilities in your mind, remarkable things happen. Your perception sharpens, you notice opportunities you previously missed. Your priorities clarify, you focus on what truly matters rather than what merely demands attention. Your resilience strengthens, you persist through challenges that would have deterred you before. This decision requires courage. It means leaving the comfort of mediocrity for the uncertainty of striving. It means risking failure in pursuit of something meaningful. It means standing apart from the crowd, as most people never make this decision with the wholehearted commitment it requires. The decision also requires responsibility. It means acknowledging that your success is primarily up to you. While circumstances, opportunities, and resources vary, the ultimate determinant of your success is how you respond to and utilize whatever you have. No more blame, no more excuses, no more waiting for perfect conditions. Finally, this decision requires action. A decision without corresponding action is merely an intention. True decisions are verified by behavior. They change what you do, not just what you say. They alter your daily routines, not just your momentary emotions. So I ask you, have you truly decided to succeed? Have you committed, with all the conviction you can muster, to creating a life that guarantees your success? If not, today is your opportunity. This moment is your invitation. Make the decision. Commit to the journey. Embrace the process, and watch as the universe seems to conspire to help you achieve what you've wholeheartedly determined to accomplish. The final word. Ladies and gentlemen, we've covered a comprehensive framework for creating a life that guarantees your success. We've explored the philosophy of success, the power of setting goals, the disciplines required, the mindset necessary, the importance of association, the habitat that fosters achievement, the economics of prosperity, the leadership dimension, the philosophy of giving back, strategies for overcoming obstacles, the legacy perspective, and the blueprint for bringing it all together. But knowledge without application is merely entertainment. Information without implementation produces no transformation. The insights we've discussed today matter only to the extent that you put them into practice. So let me leave you with this challenge. Begin today. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when conditions are perfect. Today. Take one principle we've discussed and apply it immediately. Set one goal. Establish one discipline. Upgrade one association. Design one element of your success habitat. Make one financial decision that serves your future. Lead in one situation. Give in one way. Overcome one obstacle. Consider one legacy contribution. Complete one section of your success blueprint. Don't try to change everything at once. That's a recipe for overwhelm and abandonment. Instead, focus on progress, not perfection. Implement gradually but consistently. Let small wins build momentum toward bigger transformations. Remember that success is not an event. It's a process. It's not something you achieve once and for all. It's something you create and recreate daily through your choices, habits, and actions. Some days will be better than others. You'll make mistakes. You'll face setbacks. That's not failure. That's feedback. Use it, learn from it, and keep moving forward. Above all, maintain perspective. Success isn't just about achievement. It's about fulfillment. It's not just about accumulation. It's about contribution. It's not just about reaching a destination. It's about becoming the person capable of making the journey. As you leave here today, carry with you this truth. You have everything you need to begin creating a life that guarantees your success. You have the knowledge, you have the capacity, you have the potential. All that remains is for you to make the decision and take the first step. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams and back that belief with consistent action. Let that future be yours, starting now. Thank you.